I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate to the title of this video. So in today's topic, it's going to be about men. More specifically, I'm going to be discussing the day-to-day life of a man and just all the expectations that are, expected for men throughout their lives. So, first and foremost, I'm sure you can tell by the gameplay, it looks a little different. Yes, this is Black Ops 6 that I'm playing right now. I am not playing the older CODs for this video. Please comment down below if you would want to see more of Black Ops 6 gameplay opposed to the older CODs. I'm still probably going to do mostly of the older CODs, but if you guys want me to sprinkle in newer Call of Duties or any other type of game, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But, yeah, back to the topic of the video. Men live their life on hard mode. So, and this is pretty much every facet of life, from dating, from career, job, family, friends, mental, emotional, physical, everything. And I guess the first thing we can talk about is just love. Men, are loved, under condition. They're not unconditionally loved like females are, or children, or pets even. What I mean by that is, I'm sure everyone's heard that expression before, but what I mean by that is as a man, you're only loved for what you can provide, what you can do, in the world, right? If you're not competent, if you're not capable as a man, you have to be useful, right? To really have any type of value in anything, in the workforce, in dating, in friendships, networking, anything like that, you have to be. And you're not loved unconditionally. So, if you're just, if you're not good at anything, if you're not a competent man, if you're not useful in any way, life is going to be difficult. If you want anything worthwhile in life, you have to be useful as a man. Like that's the sad reality and the truth of it. And it's easy for people, men mainly, that we can just sit there and complain about it and say it's unfair and say it's not right, but that's just life. That's reality. So unfortunately, you can't change that. That's just how the world works, and you have to adapt and you have to adjust. That's the only way you get things in life is becoming a useful man. I mean, and a lot of us, we have things that we're good at. We have some type of talent or skill. We just have to use it the right way. If you're good at anything, use it to max it out to your full capacity. I would always do that. Definitely, things that you are pretty good at, I would get great at them, and then in the process, learn things throughout life. I always kind of try to be like a sponge. Like, I always try to absorb new information, and it's one of these things where I'm not big on censorship at all, and I love to hear, people talk about stuff, especially about stuff that I'm not too familiar with, or I might not have a lot of information or insight on, because it's how you learn things. I don't care, you can learn something from, a homeless person or anybody. You can learn something from anybody in this world, So, and again, you might talk to someone for hours, or an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And if you just learned one thing, if 10 seconds of that hour was valuable, you learned something, it still was worth your while, because at least you learned something during that conversation. And it doesn't matter, who it was. I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and he was talking about politics and stuff. Now, me personally, I've never voted before. I don't see myself ever voting. I mean, I'm not gonna say I never will. But I don't vote because I don't feel like I'm educated enough on that. What's the word? I'm not educated in that field enough, right, to cast a vote. And that's just my personal preference, my personal opinion about it. Of course, as politics, everyone follows it to some extent, but I'm not educated enough in that field. But it doesn't really interest me. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, yeah, I get it's important to an extent, but it's not something I love. It's not something I indulge in. But even when people talk about it, I'm gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna listen. Like, if they just want to ramble on, like, when it gets to politics, trust me, people, they love to rant about stuff, and it's easy to kind of tune them out or just kind of tell them to shut up. But I'd rather let them talk. I want to hear their point of view. I want to hear where they're coming from. And that's a big thing to also do with people that you might not people that you disagree with, that you might not agree with certain things on topics or beliefs or values. It's good to hear them out too, because it's always great to have another point of view, and another, aspect on a certain topic or subject. And a lot of times, they kind of make you believe, you're right even more, depending on what the situation or what your beliefs are. But you can learn something. Like, maybe you can understand why this person feels this way or why they think like this. And, it's really good to just, my point of all that was to just always grow. You have to be looking to learn new things, because as a man, like I said, you're useful, and the more things you know, it's the better. You can never know too much. You know what I'm saying? So never be afraid to learn something new. I'm a person that doesn't like change. I'm not a big fan of it, but when things happen, when change happens, you learn something, whether it's good or bad. You learn stuff, and that's very important. And like I said, being that you are essentially loved for what type of value you bring to the table in any aspect of your life, I strongly suggest that you learn as much as you can, and improve what you're, like I said, max out what you're good at. Like, become great in your field. I'm in the pest control industry, and listen, I like it. Like, it's cool, I guess, but I don't love it. But I'm trying to force myself, I'm trying to force myself to take it more seriously and be more passionate about it, because listen, is it something I want to do for the rest of my life? Probably not. I'm not obsessed with bugs. I don't. It's just something I kind of fell into, and it's I have a family to support and everything, so I kind of just have to do it, But I try to have a good positive outlook on it, and I try to just max out my capability, max out the amount of money I can make, max out what I can learn, and how I can also transfer it to other things in life. Because that's the good thing. When you learn certain skills, it's it can help you in other parts of your life that maybe you didn't think about before. And I talked about that in one of my previous videos about the pros of a 9-to-5, because some of the habit building from a 9-to-5 is good. Again, I'm not a big 9-to-5 person, but there is always some type of positive you can take from most situations. So, like I said, it's tough, because as a man, you feel very underappreciated a lot through life, and it's normal to feel that way. That's just, unfortunately, that's what life is as a man, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not trying to bum anyone out, but it's you, like I said, you have to be useful. You have to be resourceful. You have to be dependable. You have to be competent, capable. All these things that you have to be as a man to succeed in life in all realms of it. So, that's the unfortunate reality of it. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like I said, when you accept this reality, you kind of view the world a little differently, and you can just learn so much stuff. Like, you can never learn too much stuff, and you should never turn off your brain I feel like I know everything I need to know, and now I'm closed-minded to learning new things. You should never be closed-minded to anything. You should always want to learn. You should always want to be open-minded to learn new things, because even if you don't think someone's smarter than you, you could still learn something from that person. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this helped any of you guys out here. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.